And this is what Zometica should be worried about more than anything else. And personally, this is all I want to see Zometica be doing, because I don't care about the revenue numbers right now. The only thing that I care about, and I hope Zometica is caring about, is that welcome back to Broke Man Finance. My name is Adam. It has been a little while since I have talked about one of my favorite penny stocks out there on the market right now, and that is Zometica. And it's certainly one of my favorite stocks under $1 right now, but people keep associating Zometica with a meme stock. It's not. Now, it certainly got some hype prior to the Trueforma release. There was a lot of hype built in around it, and it sent the share price up artificially, right? It got artificially inflated. But I've got to disagree that it's a meme stock. This is a very young company that's got a lot of promise. This is a legitimate company that, to be honest, they are just now getting started. Their first product just started rolling out. They're just getting started in the vet and animal health world, which, by the way, is a massively growing industry. Everything, and I mean everything surrounding pets and animals, has grown exponentially year after year. And there are no signs, zero signs, of this industry slowing down, which, by the way, is getting ready to cross $100 billion. Now, people are caring for their pets more. They're buying their pets more products. They're being more active with their pets more now than ever before. So yes, I am a Zometica bull. I am bullish on Zometica. I like the company. I like the future prospects for the company. But before I explain why, make sure you hit that like button, and for more Zometica videos and updates in the future, remember to subscribe. Zometica has a substantial amount of money on hand. They're not hurting financially. They have a great roadmap that they're on right now. They have a great plan in place. They're building out their sales team. They're expanding their operation. They have more assays getting ready to come out with more stuff in R&D, and the list goes on. It's just they're in a great place right now. However, Zometica is only trading right now for around 78 cents at the time of this filming, which is far from their all-time highs, but also at the same time, it's far from their all-time lows. But if you're a subscriber to this channel, the share price drop shouldn't come as too much of a surprise to you, because we've talked about this already. I've already discussed the issues that Zometica had with their distributor, right? And the fact that they were going to be moving to an all in-house sales team. Now, although that's going to be better in the long term, because I personally am glad to see them go to an all in-house sales team, but because of the transition, don't be surprised to see some delays in sales, which we could be, hopefully they'll be shoring up here very soon, but don't be surprised whenever those revenue numbers come out that they're not as lucrative as we would like to see, and that share price drops a little bit more. So don't let this come to you as a surprise. This is not something that should reflect the product, reflect the company. They had a mishap with the distributor, so they had to step back and punt. This in no way affects the fundamentals of the company. It just puts some delays and slows some things up in the sales process. If they could go back, I'm sure they would go back and redo it all over again, but stuff happens. Zometica believes that by the end of 2021, its sales organization will include 15 direct sales representatives, supported by 4 professional service vets, as well as inside sales and customer service employees. To me, that's great news. I think that speaks volumes to the optimism that Zometica has right now. We got 3 assays and Trueforma already out there in commercial land world, and we have 2 more assays getting ready to come out soon, with more getting developed in R&D. So I think we are heading in a very profitable direction. The other big news coming out of Zometica is CEO Robert Cohen, whom I really liked and thought a lot of in this role, has decided to step down and retire, but he will stay on as a member of the board of directors. Here's what he had to say. With Zometica healthy, Trueforma on the market and well positioned for adoption and growth, more than $250 million in cash and cash equivalents, and a technology roadmap established, I have notified the board of directors that I intend to retire as CEO at the end of the calendar year. An extensive search has been initiated to find a highly qualified successor, at which time I will retire from the CEO position while retaining my seat on the board of directors. Cohen has been at this for a very long time, not just with Zometica. He's been with multiple companies prior to finding himself as Zometica. And call me naive. You can call me naive, but I think he just legit wants to retire. I've been reading stuff online that he's trying to bail on a sinking ship, that he's foreshadowing the failure of Zometica, so he's bailing now and going to move on to bigger days. I legit believe he just wants to retire. Now, who they replace him with will be very interesting, and I'm looking forward to making a video about that very thing. Let's talk about being undervalued. There was an article written on Investor's Place by Will Ashworth, who I thought did an incredible job playing with the numbers of Zometica, so he gets all the credit for this one, not me. I'm just reporting it. Zometica is way undervalued here as its gear is catching on. ZOM stock is finding its feet, but there's movement ahead. The first line in the article is estimating Zometica being worth anywhere from $1.11 per share to $1.61 per share at its current level, which would make that obviously a definite buy. If you look at it's still in the 78 cents range at the time of this filming. In the article, they mention a lot of the same points that I've made before regarding the pet industry, including the diagnostic side. But for all us math nerds out there, let's look at some numbers. Let's assume it could gain 5% of the diagnostics market by 2024. Based off that number, that would be equivalent to $140 million in revenue. Today, Zometica has just $14,124 from the first quarter of 2021 sales. That works out to a compound annual growth rate of 1,063%. Do I think it'll hit 5% by 2024? No, I don't. I don't think they're going to corner that much of the market by 2024. I do think they will get there eventually, and I think they will get there not long after 2024. I definitely don't see it being 2034, but in just a couple of years, 2.5 years from now, do I see them taking 5% of the entire pet diagnostics market? No, I don't. As long as Trueforma performs. And this is what Zometica should be worried about more than anything else. And personally, this is all I want to see Zometica be doing, because I don't care about the revenue numbers right now. The only thing that I care about, and I hope Zometica is caring about, is that Trueforma is performing up to the standard in which is being advertised, and whatever bugs or bad experiences the vets are having with it gets addressed immediately, because the customer satisfaction and that word of mouth about Trueforma is going to play a huge role in the future sales and revenue of said product. I don't care what the revenue numbers are. All I care about right now is ensuring that that Trueforma product is working as well as they say it can. That's all they need to worry about. Because without Trueforma, this is their main revenue driver. Without Trueforma, Zomedica's gone. If they can focus on that, the revenue will be a byproduct of that product satisfaction. They will be immensely successful if they can just focus on making sure that Trueforma is as good as they say it is. If we're looking at each unit costing $8,750, and based on $140 million in sales by 2024, it would have to sell, give or take, 16,000 Trueforma units and or cartridges, etc. in 2024. Based on it selling 100 units in 2021, it would have to grow that number on an annual basis over the next 3 years by 443%. Now, can they get to 16,000 units in 2024 alone? That, like he mentions in the article, is certainly up for debate. But what if we just got to half of that? If we just got to half of that, that would be $70 million in total revenue. That should more than help support the research and development. I agree with the author 100%. But they've mentioned already that they're looking for a second revenue stream. They're already in the process of doing a lot of R&D already, and that's aside from the assays that they're already working on. Now, there's been a lot of rumor mill out there about acquisitions. If they're going to get acquired, if they're going to make some acquisitions with that $250 million, especially bringing on some of the staff that they've brought on recently who's got a history of doing that very thing, it leads one to believe that an acquisition may be occurring, but we don't know nothing about that quite yet. But what I do know is this is a young company with a lot of potential. And if you look at this, do you think that they're going to only have Trueforma for 20 years? They're going to have more products. I'm looking forward to seeing what else they come up with. This is a healthy company. They're in a good place right now. They got a lot of flack for being a meme stock. They didn't ask for that. There was a lot of hype that got artificially inflated into this thing, and they just got deemed a meme stock. This is not a meme stock. This is a young company that deserves a chance, and in a very massively growing industry, and I'm a fan of the company. So at these price levels, I 100% believe it's a buy. So at these share price levels, the massively growing industry, the Zomedica's growth potential, my typical 3 to 5 year outlook, because whenever I put money into a stock, whenever I'm buying a company, then I look at it from a 3 to 5 year perspective. Where do I see this company in 3 to 5 years? And I see Zometica well above the 78 cents range. That's why right now I am still at this point rating Zometica a buy. In no way do I see Zometica remaining at these levels in 3 to 5 years. And if they continue to pump out more assays, more products, they have all this cash on hand, maybe they make an acquisition, whatever. I see them continuing to grow their product line and continuing to grow the company, and it's just going to earn more and more revenue, and they're going to continue to grow year after year. But what do you think about Zometica? Buy or not? And let me know why in the comments. As always, I hope all your stocks, including Zometica, goes to the moon. I hope you all stay safe out there, and we will see you next time.